This is kind of nice. The craft pour is really good. Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do an unboxing and a setup and maybe a little bit of a review on the coffee maker. This is the Ninja Hot and Iced XL coffee maker with rapid cold brew. Pretty excited about this. Rapid cold brew. I'm anxious to see what that is all about. So let's open it up. First off, we've got the manual up here at the top. I always suggest rotating these things on their side. They're kind of heavy to pull out onto the table in case anything comes out. Let's undo the plastic on the bottom. So now when we lift it up, we can take the plastic off. Now there is a glass carafe right here, so be careful. All right. Cord. All right. Again, be careful, the glass carafe, just pull it out. It's kind of wedged in there. There's some filters and stuff up here. I got a piece of plastic on here. Here's the filter basket. Looks like we do have a permanent filter that comes with it. All right, the glass carafes in a nice big box. This is a 12-cup carafe. Yeah, it seems nice and thick. And that's it. Nothing else in this box. So we got the cord. We have a scoop on the side, looks like. Little flip down tray. This is the glass carafe. You're gonna rotate this to clean it. It's got the mixing tube. Start with the arrow, point it all the way kind of opposite of where you need. Then rotate it until it clicks and the arrow's into place. It does have a warming plate. And again, here's the filter basket. This rotates out. Permanent filter, looks like a number 4 cone filter. And then rotate it in. That's kind of a handle to rotate it in and out. We got some tape on the water filter. Okay, the water filter comes off. It's just got a lid on it. No filter or anything in it. Okay, nice display. Looks like we have a manual drip stop. Some buttons. So let's take a closer look. And I'm pretty excited about this coffee maker. Okay, so here's a close-up of everything. Here's the carafe again. We do have a warming plate down here. We got a tray that drops down. We got drip stop. The display will show us when we're in drip stop. Again, this rotates out. We can put a number 4 cone paper filter or this reusable filter. Never both at the same time. Just push it in. Now what you're going to see is new is this cold brew button. We got cold brew, over ice, rich, and classic. We can also turn the warming plate on and off. We got a clean button. We got this button, this rotate for the different sizes. Delay brew. We can set the time and the power button. Okay, let's set the time. You're going to press and hold. There, press the hour meter. It's flashing. Now we're going to rotate this. So it does have an AM and a PM indicator. Press that again and it sets the time. And then it'll stop flashing. That's your current time in the house. There, press the hour button again and you'll see the time when you turn it off. It's kind of really dim. Now you do want to rinse these out. Rinse this out with soap and water. Clean the filter basket. These are dishwasher safe, but get them all nice and clean before the first time you use it. Same with the water filter, the water reservoir. Take this over to your sink, rinse it all out nice. Fill it up to the full mark with fresh water. Put your filter basket in. Put the carafe in. Rotate this all the way to the max. And you're simply going to press this classic brew. That's going to run that entire water through there and kind of clean out the machine before you ever start. We're not going to make coffee first. Simply turn it on, rotate this all the way to the max and hit the classic brew, and you'll just brew that water through there just nice and fresh. Now, anytime I get a new coffee maker with a reservoir, I like to set it up and down about 10 times. You'll see some air bubbles coming out. It just kind of helps prime the pump for the first time. And again, we got a manual drip stop, so that's in drip stop. Your coffee maker won't work. It says it's in drip stop. That's when you want to pull the carafe out for a quick cup of coffee or at the end of your brew. Now, open it. Now, it does say it's 120 volts, 60 hertz, 1,550 watts. It's got a 2-prong cord, and it's about 32 inches long. So it's about 12 inches and 9 inches front to back. Now, what's nice about this coffee maker, you don't have to lift the lid up. So it's only 15 inches tall. It will fit under a kitchen cabinet. You do have to lift this off, you know, not a whole lot, just a little bit in order to get it away from there. And again, we got this, the scoop is over here on the side. That's, if you lose the scoop, that's 1 tablespoon, and that's like 2 tablespoons. Okay, let's go over these different brews. You got classic brew, rich brew. It's gonna slow down the brewing a little bit to extract more flavor off of the coffee. It says this stands up to like milk and sugar better. Classic brew is just a normal brew. Over ice means it's gonna not turn the warming plate on. You're gonna fill your container full of ice and it's gonna brew the coffee. Now, cold brew, it actually says it brews it at a colder temperature and it takes a little bit longer. So in cold brew, the water going over the coffee grounds will be at a lower temperature. I don't know exactly what that temperature is, but it just says it'll be a lower temperature. These 3 will be all the same temperature, it looks like. Now with this coffee maker, I'm in control. As long as my water reservoir is full, I can pick any selection I want. You know, if I want a full carafe, which is 12 cups or 55 ounces, as long as that's up to the full mark, I can brew that. Now, even if my water reservoir is at the full mark, I can dial this down. Say I just want 18 ounces. Say I want to brew into a travel mug. Once you see the travel mug icon, it's not going to turn the warming plate on. I can brew right into my travel mug and go. It doesn't brew, every time you press the brew button, it doesn't brew whatever water's in this reservoir, like a coffee maker that, you know, like a normal one does. This one you can actually select, I want an exact amount of ounces. Now, whenever you see the carafe, the picture of the carafe, it does turn the warming plate on. So there's 3 sizes of the carafe, 18, 14, then we get into coffee mugs, and 8, you can go all the way down to 8. Now this is the model number CM371. So you can see they have a nice chart in here. So when I select a full carafe, and I do a classic brew, I do get 54 ounces. When I select rich, I get a little bit less. When I select over ice, I get about half. And when I do cold brew, so cold brew and over ice, I get the same amount. It's just, again, the cold brew is brewed at a different temperature. So even though I select a full carafe, I'm only gonna get about a half a carafe of actual coffee out. Now the theory behind that is you're gonna fill this with ice. It's gonna brew that half amount of coffee in there. It's gonna melt the ice and give you the proper dilution, and the coffee will be cold. Now also, if you live at a high elevation, you're gonna wanna do a high altitude calibration brew. That means you're gonna fill it up. You're gonna hit the classic and over ice button until the display says cal. So you'll see cal right there. And that's because water boils at different temperatures depending on what altitude you're at. So if you don't live at a high altitude, you don't have to do the calibration. Okay, so let's try this cold brew. I've got this filled up with ice. We're gonna put it right there. Again, I'm gonna use pre-ground coffee, Just a Dad Simple Sip coffee. All right, so let's open it up. It does come in this resealable freshness bag. Now we're gonna put some, and they also give us this nice chart. For a full carafe, 8 to 14 tablespoons or 4 to 7 of the big spoons. So I like to use 1 tablespoon per cup I'm brewing. So I would put 12 tablespoons in there, or about 6 of the big ones. 6 of these big ones. Now again, I can put a number 4 paper filter in here, but I'm gonna use the reusable filter. And again, we just put our coffee right here. So I'm gonna put 6 of these big ones in here. Okay, all my coffee's in there. Rotate this to the full carafe. And all I do, now whenever I press one of these buttons, that's what it'll start brewing. I'm gonna do the cold brew. Okay, beeps at us. There's a status bar. Let's start a watch. Okay, so it did start brewing right away. but there are going to be several pauses while it's doing this brew. Okay, so it did brew for a little bit. It's paused. Now we can hear it brewing again. You don't have that traditional like steam building up like you hear from a coffee maker. It's relatively quiet. I'll try to catch that temperature. 92 degrees. Yeah, 92 degrees. Normally that coming out there can be around 170 degrees. So today's video is brought to you by my very own coffee, Just a Dad Simple Sip Coffee. It's available in a K-Cup, whole bean, and pre-ground 16-ounce bag. You can find it at justadadcoffee.com, or right underneath the video, you will see the products displayed and you click on them and purchase them right there. Okay, so we're almost at the 10-minute mark. The status bar keeps going across. We've got some more coffee to brew. Again, it just starts and stops, all the time. It's not very loud at all. Again, there's what the pump sounds like. Trying to catch, I never see around more than 100 degrees coming out the bottom. And again, anytime you're in this over ice or cold brew, it does not turn the warming plate on. If you do a classic or rich and you've got the craft showing, you'll see the red light coming on to let you know the warming plate is on. Okay, it beeps at me to let me know that it's done. It's still dripping, so move the drip stop. There's our coffee. I'm sure it's really cold. So if you had, I would get a tumbler, fill the tumbler full of ice, add your milk and syrup. It's going to be really good. But let's try it without. Let's just kind of get what a temperature is, kind of a flavor taste. Yeah, 34 degrees. That's a really cold coffee. Okay, let's give it a taste. Okay. Wow, that tastes really good. It still has the rich coffee flavor taste. It still tastes like it's strong, but it is a little bit smoother. It doesn't have quite the acidic bite or kind of the bitterness to it. It's actually kind of a smoother tasting drink. It's really cold. So this is going to taste great in a tumbler with ice and some syrup. Okay, here I got a tumbler. You don't have to add a whole bunch of ice because it's already relatively cold. This is kind of nice. The craft pour is really good. Add some milk or some sugar. I'm going to add a little bit of this. This tastes so good. Helps if you open it up first. Okay, now let's add some of this. All right, let's stir that in. Let's give it a taste. Wow, that's a really refreshing drink. It tastes really good. Yeah, I forgot to look at the stopwatch. I don't know how long it took. Sorry about that. I mean, in the video, we'll see how long it took, but I can't tell you how long it took. But anyway, I don't think it took as long as I thought it was going to take. Now, you don't end up with a whole lot of cold brew, so I could probably do probably 3 of these tumblers. Yeah. Okay, so up here, let's see how the coffee did. It looks, looks like there might have been a little bit of a bloom there. Cleanup is very easy. Just take this whole thing, get rid of the coffee grounds. You can put both of these in the washing machine or the dishwasher. So you're going to have lots of possibilities. I could have done that cold brew into this tumbler. I could have filled the tumbler up, picked what size that is. That's about a 14 ounce. Now, even though when you're in cold brew or over ice, even though you have 14 ounces selected, that is not what it brews. It brews half of that. So by telling you 14 ounces, it says put a 14 ounce cup underneath there full of ice. Because what I did was I did the full carafe, 55 ounces. It did not brew 55 ounces, but I ended up with, well, not quite 55 ounces, but that's the size of container you need with the amount of ice. Now again, when you're doing classic and rich, it just brews the coffee really hot. It's just going to be like a standard cup of coffee. So it does say this clean light will come on when it's time to descale this coffee maker. Now we can change the warming plate temperature and time. So we're going to press and hold this warming plate button. That's the amount of time. So I can have this warming plate stay on 0, 30 minutes, all the way up to 4 hours. I like 2 hours is the default. That's about right for me. Then that's going to memorize it. So let's hold the warming plate button again. That's the amount of time. Hit the warming plate again. It's medium. We got low, medium, or high. That's the temperature of the warming plate. And then press it again and it memorizes it. We can also set the delay brew. So we're going to press the delay brew. Oh, drip stop's got to be open. Delay brew is flashing. Now this is the time that I'm going to set. I want it to come on. There's an AM. Okay, so when the hour is flashing, hit the minute button. You'll switch over to the minutes. Okay, 6:15 AM. Then press the delay again. What size do you want to brew? Hit the, let's do a full carafe. Hit the delay again. Okay, first you want to select, let's do this over. So hit the delay button. The time's flashing, but select what you want. You want a classic, rich, over ice, cold brew. So I want classic brew. Now turn the time. I want it to start at 5. Hit the minute button. 5:15 AM. Hit the delay button again. Now what size do you want? This is where you pick the size. Hit the delay. Let's do a full carafe. Hit it again. That light stays on. So make sure you got water. Your carafe is empty. You got your coffee in. Go to bed. When that light is on, that means this will start in the morning. Now say you want to override it and say you want to sleep in. Press the delay brew and it cancels it. Okay, this was pretty impressive, that cold brew. I'm actually very impressed. I had no idea what it was going to be like. I thought it might be gimmicky. It's not gimmicky. It actually works. Again, this is the model number CM371. I think they're coming out with a 360, which is an 8-cup carafe from what I can tell from the manual. I haven't seen it out yet. This, I paid $150 off the Ninja website. I bought this with my own money. I imagine this is going to be probably on the Amazon website. It's not there yet. I'm sure Walmart will come out with their own version probably. Now they have one that looks really similar to this at Walmart. I got to do a comparison. This is an older design. I was kind of surprised when they picked this design to do this new feature because this one's been around a while. There's a version of this on Amazon and Walmart, but they do not have this cold brew. I think they have over ice. But this cold brew is definitely different. They got some really good box art. This is basically what it's doing. It says brewed at a lower temperature. That's going to be a really strong coffee, but it's brewed at a higher temperature. So the ice is going to melt more. So I got to do some more reviews. I got to check the temperature for a normal coffee. I was just too excited. I had to do the cold brew because that was just intriguing to me. You don't see that very often in an actual coffee maker. Again, be sure and check out my Just a Dad Simple Sip coffee. It stands up to hot or iced. It comes whole bean, a ground coffee. I even have the K-Cup with it also. So this is a really nice coffee maker. I'm definitely giving it a thumbs up. This is a Just a Dad coffee maker approved. If somebody asks me what's a pretty good coffee maker, I'm pretty sure I'm going to tell them about this one. I will put links to it under the show description notes. Again, I got this off the Ninja website. I am an affiliate with Ninja, so if you click on the link, the product won't cost you anymore, but I will get a small commission from the sale. It is a way of supporting my channel. Again, bought this with my own money. I got lots of reviews coming out on this, or lots of videos I'm going to be doing. I'll compare it to their other coffee makers to see how it stands up. But right now, this one's pretty cool. Also, check me out on my Instagram page. Look for my logo, Just a Dad. On Instagram, hit me a follow over there. I'm going to be doing free giveaways on Instagram and on my Facebook group page, Just a Dad Videos Facebook group page. I'm also on TikTok, so I do really appreciate everybody's support. Again, thanks so much. If you could, please hit the thumbs up button underneath the video. That really helps out my YouTube channel. And thanks so much for watching. And Miss Fiona showed up for her treat. She's like, I'll just eat it right here today.